The two are confused. And you don't realize that even within the gunas, each guna can be sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. So you can have tamasic tamas, you can have rajasic tamas, and you can have sattvic tamas. So it is a 3 by 3 structure. It is 9 different types of qualities or 9 different types of. Now when we say tamas, because that is the foundation, the base, tamas are very important. Inertia, stability, it is very important. Do you want a completely non-stable life? Do you want change and rapidity and unexpectedness all the time? So whether we know it or not, fundamentally each one of us value tamas a lot. Yeah? What is the phrase we use in India when we want somebody to get married? Get settled, yes? Before that you are unsettled, unsteady, Everything, the qualities of firmness, the qualities of solidity, the qualities of stability, they are all tamasic qualities. अरे सॉलिडिटी, फर्मनेस, स्टेबिलिटी, ये सब तो अच्छी बातें हैं, लेकिन तमस, हाँ बिल्कुल, क्योंकि वो तमस तमस नहीं है. इट इज नॉट डबल डार्कनेस. यस, it could be a sattvic tamas, or it could be a tamasic sattva. That also is a problem, by the way. But that also is a state that comes later. When change is happening, especially in internal, when we are doing yoga or something like that and our body is changing, tamasic quality is very important to keep us together. You're doing something very powerful like the 8 spiritual breaths and your body is flying apart in various directions. Your body is reacting violently in that time the tamasic quality holds you, the tamasic quality settles you, the tamasic quality stabilizes you. So do not instantly dismiss, oh that is very tamasic. Yes, there is a whole dark side to it. There is also a positive side to it. To sit in meditation for long hours, to sit plugging away at some work for years and years, all those are tamasic qualities. Inertia. Rakshasas always do better than the devas anytime they do tapasya, yes? They always win the maximum amount of boons from Brahma, those kind of things. Tamasic quality, they can sit in meditation, they can sit in the tapasya, they can stay longer. They can stay longer in that state more than other people. So tamas is very, very valuable. Tamas is very valuable in many ways. In many ways. Now, the kind of tamas that we reject is the tamaso tamas. The one that is double negative, the one that is completely dark and evil and sloth and laziness and depression and overeating and just being negative about everything, just being cruel and taking delight in cruelty and foolishness and stupidity. Yes? Like a Salman Khan movie. That is the bad tamas. That is the tamas that we are rejecting. That is the tamas that we do not want. But what is the rajo tamas then? What would be a rajasic form of tamas then? You have begun a course of action, especially say exercise. You begin a new exercise routine. That time tamas is very important or very useful to you, because it will enable you to stick to the routine. When do people give up the exercise routine? Sometime in the second week. At that time, if you had a rajo tamas in you, you would continue. Just the inertia of habit would keep you going. Just the inertia of habit would keep you going. So don't immediately reject something as being tamasic. Now, the point was made about certain foods and stuff being tamasic. Tamasic means that if you eat certain kinds of foods, you act like a python. You basically want to curl up in one place and sleep. Yeah? Our most famous favorite food which does that in India is rice. Yeah? After rice, what do you want to do? Ajgar. You want to curl up and sleep. So in that extent, that also it is not a problem of rice, it is a problem that we overeat. It is a problem that we overeat. It is not actually a problem of rice. So the food, they discovered that certain foods have a certain impact on the body, have a certain impact in terms of energy, have a certain impact in terms of how you function, and especially how you function in a spiritual community. If you're doing yoga, certain kinds of foods are not indicated, not good. Yeah? You automatically start dropping from certain types of too much of oil, too much of masala, those kind of things, you automatically start reducing. Or the impact of sugar on the body, especially refined sugar. It's like just pumping ourselves with poison. So those things are actually what is significant. But if you tell people this is good for your health, they somehow tend to listen less than if you tell them this is a sin. Then they listen. So in India, everything was tied to your culture. In your culture, everything was tied to God will approve or God will not approve. So certain things got classified. Certain things got classified. Because garlic is so useful and so healthy, it is so useful in multiple ways. But the minute you overdose with garlic, if you're in any kind of sadhana, any kind of yoga, you know the impact. You know the impact. Things that are under the ground, potatoes, tubers, sweet potato, you overeat with that, immediately you know the impact, yes? Because they are all carbohydrates. Make you fat, straight away. And they have the tendency that they increase hunger. So there were certain classifications, they were not so scientific in the old days. They classified certain things, but they classified them on impact on the body. Now, if you are not in a spiritual practice or a deep spiritual practice, that does not mean that you stop, because that is not sattvic or that is all tamasic food, not at all. So tamas is got a very bad reputation, unfortunately. I am not saying that we should seek to be tamasic, but I am saying we cannot live if there is no tamas. The body has a certain shape and it stays in that shape because of tamas. It does not disintegrate because of tamas. So it is a stabilizing, it is a congealing, it is something that holds together. Many things that we accomplish, it takes time and patience, and that is basically another word for tamas. It is a word for just enduring. Especially in spiritual matters, you got to be patient, because you do a certain practice of pranayama, meditation, the energy is building up slowly. And then the breakthrough always happens explosively, and the breakthrough always happens suddenly. We don't have the patience to wait for that. We don't have the patience to wait for the accumulation. We think nothing is happening. I'm not getting exciting experiences like the other person is getting. But if you could just wait, it would happen, because that is the way it happens. Spirituality does not go step by step, it goes in explosive evolutionary steps. And to wait for that, you require that quality, that tamasic quality needs to be there. And even when the breakthrough happens, the tamasic quality is required so that you can be stable and not fall apart, not become a mental basket case when that breakthrough happens. When you have a violent awakening, even in the stages of enlightenment, there is sattva, there is rajas, and there is tamas. When you awaken, that is a tamasic quality. When you become self-realized, that is a rajasic quality. And when you become enlightened, that is a sattvic quality. So the three are not the same. There are various levels of consciousness, there are various stages of evolution in consciousness. The problem is, many people who are merely awakened or even self-realized, they think that they are enlightened. So we'll come to that some other time, because it's a very fascinating thing in the gradation of consciousness. And it is not possible to become enlightened before first becoming self-realized, and it is not possible to become self-realized without first awakening. But awakening is a tamasic quality. Awakening is a biological, a mental and a psychological thing that can happen because of external input from the environment, or because your energy is so strong you can awaken somebody. I remember a very famous story. Swami Vivekananda was asked by a young man that, I've heard about Kundalini. Is it really true? Can it be activated in somebody? He said, yes, of course it's true. It's a yogic experience. Why do you ask the question? He asked, can you activate it in me? He said, yes, of course I can activate it. Then half an hour later he called him and he said, no, I can't activate now. I have been talking too much and traveling too much. I need to meditate for about 3 months. Then and only then I can do that. So he realized that the kind of vibration that you require to be in, he was not in that vibration. And we are talking about Vivekananda. Does that mean he was not enlightened? Yes, he was enlightened. But at that moment, he did not have the requisite energy vibration. He did not have the appropriate energy vibration to activate. And what did he say? I need 3 months. So what he understood that gunas are off balance here. Gunas are off balance here. He was too much into rajas, and like I said, the awakening has a large tamasic quality in it. So he needs to come into that stillness and the sattvic quality, of course. So it is a very wise thing he said. Anybody else would have thought, I have made the commitment now, मैं कुछ छू मंतर करूँगा ऊपर, and then how will he know the difference? But Vivekananda was always honest, always truthful, and he said, no, at the moment I can't do it. So awakening is something that can happen by accident. Awakening is something that can happen because of karma. Awakening is something that can happen because you happen to meet the right person at the right time, or even by accident. So when we talk about niyati, when we talk about bhagya and destiny and those kind of things, and kismat, those are all tamasic aspects of karma. Yeah, where you are just helpless and it just flows. Those are all the stable, but you don't have to stay there. The whole point of yoga is something called Purushakara. Purushakara means to change your destiny with your conscious action. We don't have to accept the destiny that has been given to us. We don't have to accept the luck and the fate that has been given to us. That is tamas. Yeah? That is double tamas. You can actually move. And Purushakara, that is the most important thing. That is a rajosattva quality, where you take action so that you move your level of consciousness. You break your pattern, but again, you need the tamas. The tamas is the foundation, you see. Nobody cares about the foundation, but if the foundation is not strong, everything comes crumbling. So don't look at tamas as a negative thing only.